First, Channel 4 hacks into the world of information technology on the wild side.
Symbols of teenage rebellion.
How do you say?
Let's do it.
It's going through now.
Yep. Bingo, we got it.
Okay.
Oh, hello. Could I speak to Stuart Cosgrove, please?
My name's Brenda, I'm Stuart's secretary. Can I ask what it's in connection with?
I believe he was wishing to contact some hackers in association with some documentary or something.
Right, okay. Can you hold on for me, please?
Yeah, sure.
Watch the sky. Keep looking. Watch the sky. Keep looking. Keep looking. Keep looking. Everywhere. Tell this to everybody wherever they are.
I'm 16. I started hacking when I was 14, and other activities when I was 14 and a half. So, i.e. freaking and carding and what have you. It's double life, you know, you've got your computer life and then you've got your standard life. And the standard life's like hop on the bus to go 20 miles down the road, yeah? You know, this extra life, you want to put it, it's like, you know, tapping a few keys and you're like miles away in the States somewhere, you know? It just tends to shrink the world a little bit.
I'm absolutely an information junkie. I mean, we've got the FBI here, and a bit lower down we've got the CIA, and some more dial-ups for the CIA. My first source of information was a very good friend of mine who got me interested in hacking and especially phone phreaking to begin with. But from there on, it's more. You get out there and you do it yourself because that's the quickest way to learn. And also, a lot of people won't actually tell you things because they want to keep it to themselves. So by asking people, they won't necessarily give you correct information anyway. So the only way you can ever be sure is to get out there and do it yourself. It's
a giant, you know, interlinking adventure game. Like, if you leave out, it's going to go on without you. So you've got to keep up with it, or you're just going to get left behind.
Well, hacking for me is getting the information that I want, which doesn't necessarily, well, a lot of people don't agree with the information that we're allowed to get our hands on, basically because there is no freedom of information in this country, unlike in the United States. So sometimes you have to break the law to get the information you want, otherwise nobody would learn.
Cheers. I'm going to call up Military Systems Air Force Command Center.
We just enter the address and it dials the number that you type for you. Just waiting for the connection to be made. Right, connect.
Yeah, welcome to the Military Airspace Management System. Basically, we just managed to get full privs on it within a couple of minutes, which doesn't exactly do much for security nowadays. That was just a basic hack of a military system.
Some hackers do it for the power, which you can get when you've taken over a system. Some do it for money. Some try and do it to rip off a bank. Some try and crash military systems because they're anarchists. The list is endless. All information that had been stored on paper is now on computer. Your bank details, your poll tax, your council tax, your TV license, your driving license. Basically everything in your life is on computer somewhere. Information is power, knowledge is power. So this is InfoCheck, which is a very, very big credit checking system. It allows you to check companies in the UK. We could do a check on Channel 4. You want to run a check? 1. You're expected to pay for all this. They charge you for each search that you make. Pre-tax profits stood at £1.2 million in '91, and they reckon that the company is of sufficient financial stability to undertake a contract of up to 30 million.
Hackers don't attack individuals as such unless they have motive to do so, i.e. previous bad experience, but corporations, the ones who tend to like to screw people, they're the ones who you really target at to see how they work, just to highlight their security flaws, to show that they're not like the great super corporations that people like to believe they are. They are actually vulnerable.
This is just logging onto Brookhaven National Laboratories National Nuclear Data Centre, which is just a machine with information on nuclear research, basically. There's also some Space Defence Initiative information. This account just allows you to look around and get any information you want, basically. Under the present laws, I mean, everything I do is completely illegal. But I don't cause any harm to anybody. I don't damage any systems. I access information which is available on that system. Doesn't necessarily mean I've got the right to view it. But to be honest, if they're stupid enough to let me get in, and there's absolutely no reason why I should, then they have no right to keep that information to themselves. If they want to keep their information secret, put it in a safe. But then somebody would probably come along and hack the safe as well.
If you didn't have hackers, you'd have every corporation running rings around the public and they'd never know about it. You'd be charged extortionate credit rates, you'd be charged everything, and they'd have you believe they were invincible and totally secure. That just isn't the case. I mean, Robin Hood, classic one. You took from the rich, gave to the poor. All we're doing is taking from the corporations, and just putting it back where it belongs. So, in public knowledge, not behind closed security systems.
The other skills that go hand in hand really with hacking is phone phreaking, which is basically using the phone system to obtain free calls around the world. Not that free calls is the main priority. Playing with the phone system is a joy in itself, which is just another computer system. So by playing with one computer system, the phone aids your hacking by being allowed to go all over the world without having to run up a huge phone bill. There is no way that the average hacker and phreaker could afford to pay for the calls, and also it's against a lot of hackers and phreakers' principles to pay for phone calls, as it's seen that British Telecom and other phone companies are big rip-off merchants. So even if you could afford to pay for your phone calls, you wouldn't out of principle.
It's known as blue boxing. It's basically calling out to an operator's equipment, sending down a tone, seizes that equipment, and then you play a series of other tones like you would an ordinary keypad, and that puts your call through. And that gets charged to the operator's equipment, not your home phone.
Right. Kick us off. Okay, the first thing we have to do is get an outside line. Then we'll dial an 800 number. What we're going to do is we're going to send some tones down the line which tell a trunk to go on and off hook. which means we're going to connect to a trunk. And we're going to call from the trunk, which is in Hong Kong, over to America, connect with another phone system, enter our ID, go. And now we're calling back to the UK from America onto a British Telecom data line, so we can get onto the internet. And from the internet we can just go to anywhere in the world. This is the most basic setup you'll ever see for phone phreaking from a pay phone anyway. What we've got is a very, very old tape recorder and a pair of very cheap that you could just buy from Dixon's. Now the phone itself, the pay phone's proving very, very difficult to use, especially since one of the lines that we were trying to call off, the operator now knows that we're trying to call off it. And what's happened is that either they've turned a filter on the line to prevent us from sending our tones down, or it's our fault. We're not quite sure at the moment, but we'll keep on trying anyway.
Hello, I'm sorry, this is British Telecom. We're just trying to sort out some engineering tests, so if you'd like to hold a moment, please. I'm sorry, can I call you back in a moment, please?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Bye.
I've been traced before. The first time I was ever traced was from Buckingham Palace, when I found a direct dial-up for Buckingham Palace. And I had too much to drink one night and thought I'd have a chat with the Queen, but it didn't go down too well. That was my first call that was ever traced. And I've been traced across networks as well from the other side of the world, but it's very easy to get past that. It takes a lot of time, and you have a lot of time in the lead before they get anywhere close to you.
After boxing off old Hawaiian Bell, we got through to some joke line in Canada, Toronto.
What's this?
Hi, you reached
Dial-up epoxy joke line, I don't think so.
Sexy Sue, these are like the third lines that cost you about $5 a minute. Normally if you pay them, they're like international 0898 numbers. But if you box the call, it goes away for nothing, so I mean, you know.
Bingo.
Thank you for calling the 9000 connection, the adult chat line.
It's just a laugh. You're in the information center of Fort Leavenworth in Kansas. Yeah. From here, yeah, you've got access to basically all these military machines here. You've got the Pentagon network, Fort Knox, these are all Fort Bragg, Fort Irwin, Dixie, Lee, all that lot, yeah. I'll just show you Fort Knox briefly.
Fort Knox, home of armour.
BBS is a bulletin board system. It's just basically an online private or public system. From there you can obtain mail, like electronic mail services, download files, upload files. It's just like a small network community of individual computer communications enthusiasts.
The information you could get off there, well, any subject that you could be at all interested in, every niche is catered for. It's somewhere. Obviously the job is to find it.
It's a bulletin board in Germany. That sort of shit. There's a couple in America as well. Computer porns, that's like, I mean, originally it's a joke. Yeah, and then you get people like the typical little school kids, yeah, you know, the little spotty weeks who sit in the corner all day. Not hackers, fucking wares dudes. Wares dudes love that sort of thing. You know?
People scanning the images from, I don't know, either from video or from magazines. And what they do is, once they're stored as files, they can be transmitted across the world or whatever. You can do whatever you want with it.
A bit popular on the old modems, you know. That's why people buy them. It's a BBS in the States called FPX2, yeah. Right, each of these is like 25 files each time I flick through. And you're looking at thousands of these files. This guy charges $79 a month for access to it or something. You know, practically every BBS system's got a few on there.
There's absolutely no way that this would happen in the UK. I mean, if the police found out about it, it would be shut down before it even happened.
We're at the Hacktic conference, the Hacking in the End of the Universe conference, which is in Lelystad, which is half an hour away by train from Amsterdam. Basically, we're here because most of the people here have got the same interest, which is computer hacking and phone phreaking, telecommunications, you know, that type of thing.
The priority of a hacker or phreaker is his equipment anyway. I mean, the fact that we're in a tent and we have to walk a few hundred yards to go to the toilet doesn't seem to bother anybody. A hacker or phreaker really doesn't really care where he is. I mean, if he's sleeping in a tent or sleeping in a 4-star hotel. But his main enjoyment is his computing or his phreaking, perhaps. That's what he lives for.
It's lots of people, lots of very different people. I see here families with babies. I see here little kids who know nothing about computers but are interested in ripping off phone companies. So they come here, maybe they'll learn the trick. You see lots of things.
There are some very, very good people there, some real hardcore, sort of old-type technologists.
So my name's Manuel Goldstein. I'm the editor of 2600 magazine, the Hacker Quarterly. We publish a hacking magazine out of the United States. We've been doing it since 1984. We started out small, and it's getting kind of out of control right now.
We deal with like astral things, you know, bits going through wires or whatever, and we talk to people who are only a name, you know, fiber optic. We heard him on the phone. I don't know how he looks like.
Is fiber optic on the line?
Yes, he is.
Ah, there he is.
I saw Emmanuel Goldstein here, you know, sort of, this was something, you know, like, now he has a face, you know, so he exists.
Well, this event is great because it brings people from all over the world together. We had one once before in 1989 called the Galactic Hacker Party. It's the only other time people from all over the world have congregated to share information about their various countries and cultures. And there's a tremendous interest. I hope to see something like this in the States one day.
There's a big hacking scene in Holland, and it's more on a political level, and it's infiltrated into the squatting scene because people want to use high levels of knowledge, you know, technology. It's a good one to penetrate. And yeah, if you're going to challenge the law, where better to start than in computers, you know, because that's the biggest control.
The people that come here generally tend to be people that are real hackers, that are the leaders as far as understanding the technologies that exist today, whether it be computer technology, telephone switching, or anything else that's being developed. There's so many things happening.
This is the hall. Our computers are lined up there, connected to the internet.
Jude will tell you what the internet is.
Okay, well, basically the internet is just a big network.
We have workshops on playing with phones, phone phreaking we call it.
Hi, you can leave a message for John Griesemer when you hear the tone.
You may start your message now.
Hi, John. I can't talk now. I'm in a room full of people. Sorry.
Locksmiths are better.
There's one on lockpicking, which is trying to open locks without harming them.
No, it's open. Yeah, you see it's open. I can move it. Sorry.
It's boys with toys. Definitely.
I spent most of the time at the bar talking with other hackers, other phreakers. Met the guys from the UK. There's some more of those people here. Spoke to some journalists as well, and went on the terminals on some of the machines. Generally had a really good time.
All this, in nature and all the famous Dutch pleasures. I don't know, maybe you should cut this one out too.
Some of the people I'm with, they find that's good, about Amsterdam. That's one of the main reasons they've come over.
Last night, I got absolutely obliterated on a different planet. Eventually, you get into one particular frame of mind, not two. Like there is no difference really between hacking and for myself, the outside world. I mean, I view the world in the same respect that I look for holes basically in everything, not out of spite, but because it's my interest. The most sinister hole which has been found is credit card fraud, which has got to be the most simple way of earning thousands of pounds a day with absolutely no risk of being caught. I mean, it's quite easily possible, but not everybody knows about it, obviously, otherwise everybody would be out there doing it.
With credit cards, obviously you obtain them via the trashing method, which is popping around the back.
I'm sorry, but that information is not available. Not available.
Once you've obtained those, you just note down the details.
That information is not available. Not available.
From there you can do several things. You could phone up a mail order company and order yourself a new...
Sorry.
You could order yourself a new...
Not available.
You could order yourself anything, basically. You can use them to place long-distance calls. You can order yourself food. The possibilities are endless.
Carlos.
Hi, I'd like to order a pizza, please.
Pick up or delivery?
Delivery.
Address?
It's Queensborough Road, the United Kingdom.
Excuse me?
You do deliver?
Yeah.
Good.
That information is not available.
You then ring up the company, say, I want this, that, and that. Give them the credit card details, yeah? As long as your drop site's in the same vicinity.
I'm sorry.
It'll turn up. I had a time me and hacker number one called Christmas. It was like an extremely hectic carding session in 2 days. Yeah, like we spent one whole day ordering it. Yeah, non-stop, got through about something like 30 or 40 credit card numbers with about average of £500 on them each. But you always get like a slight buzz when you walk out to the van as well, because you never know when the police are going to jump out and get you. It takes a matter of 3 minutes, 15 seconds to order £1,000 off a credit card. They're not secure, don't let them tell you they are. If I were you, I wouldn't get one.
I'm not interested in financial institutions. I mean, if I wanted to rip off banks, I mean, I'd be doing it now. But it doesn't interest me.
I'll end up in a life of crime, but not like blue-collar crime. I can't really see myself giving up hacking or phreaking within the near future. And even if the feds get hold of you, it still ain't going to stop you. I think I'll only get fed up with it after I get busted every day on a regular basis.
Even though it's criminal, I mean, we're not doing any harm. I mean, people will see at the moment seem to go to prison for 6 months for raping somebody. If we were caught hacking, I'm sure we'd go down for at least a couple of years.
Moshi moshi, genki desu ka?
If you really wanted to get at somebody or some institution, to be honest, there's no way they could stop you. You could do it. If you were determined enough, you would get in. I mean, if you wanted to trash their latest system or whatever, you could do it. There's no reason why you couldn't. In a way, it's like the ultimate terrorism.
I'm a part of your master plan, yeah. I'm a part of your master plan.
Can you dig that?
Peace, love,